Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. Shakespeare gave us this line in The Tempest, but over the centuries it has taken a life far beyond the play. It has become more than just a dramatic sentence. It has become a mirror to humanity itself. When you first hear these words, they sound like fantasy, as if they belong to a world of magic, storms, and monsters. But when you think more deeply, you realize this is not a tale of ghosts and spirits. It is a truth about us, about our world, about what it means to be human. If hell is empty, then where have the devils gone? Shakespeare answers without directly saying it. They are here, among us, living in human hearts, walking in human form, hidden behind human smiles. This idea is terrifying because it does not speak of some faraway realm of punishment. It says we do not need to wait until death to see hell. We have already built it here on earth. And the devils that we imagine with horns and tails are not supernatural beings. They are the greed, cruelty, hatred, and selfishness that humans carry inside them. Look around history, and you will see how real this line is. Wars that swallowed millions of lives were not started by demons from another world. They were started by men in suits, kings in thrones, and leaders with armies at their command. Genocides, slavery, corruption, betrayal, all the horrors that shaped human history came not from hell below, but from men and women above the ground. If hell is fire, then the fire of hatred burning in human hearts is hotter than any flame described in old stories. And if hell is pain, then the suffering created by humans for other humans is proof that we are living among devils. Think of how easily humans hurt one another. A lie told in malice, a betrayal of trust, an act of cruelty to an innocent being. All of these are small pieces of hell. And when those small pieces are multiplied across societies, across nations, they create a world where injustice rules and where the devils seem to outnumber the angels. You do not need to look for evil in the shadows. You can see it in broad daylight, in the way people exploit the weak, in the way children are abandoned, in the way power is abused. Shakespeare's words strike us because we know deep down that they are not just metaphor, they are observation. But let us not think of devils only as others, as if evil is always outside us. The truth is more uncomfortable. The devils are not only out there, they are also in here, inside each of us. Who has not felt the sharp sting of envy, the hunger for revenge, the selfish desire to step ahead even if it means pushing someone else down? These are not small things. These are the very seeds of hell. They grow quietly within us. And if we are not careful, they become strong enough to shape our lives. Shakespeare was not pointing his finger only at kings and murderers. He was pointing at all of humanity. Every person carries within them both the light of goodness and the shadow of evil. Hell is not empty because its residents are alive inside us, waiting for a chance to rule. When Shakespeare wrote those words, he was also making a statement about fear. Human beings are afraid of the unknown, afraid of what lies after death, afraid of demons, afraid of punishment. But perhaps the greater fear should be directed at what lies in our own nature. What good is it to worry about devils in an invisible underworld if we ignore the devils in our world of politics, families, workplaces, and even friendships? It is easy to imagine an evil being somewhere else. It is much harder to admit that the evil is already here, wearing the face of a neighbor, a colleague, or even ourselves. And so the line, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here," becomes more than a dramatic warning. It becomes a philosophy of life. It tells us that evil is not far away. It is present in human action, in human thought, in human society. And if we wish to escape hell, it is not enough to wait for some divine rescue. We must face the devils where they are, in the corruption of power, in the cruelty of war, in the coldness of indifference, and in the shadows of our own hearts. This idea can make you hopeless at first. After all, If all the devils are here, then what hope is left? If humanity itself is the source of hell, then what chance do we have to live in peace? But here lies the other side of Shakespeare's wisdom. To know where the devils are is also to know where the battle must be fought. The fight for goodness is not in some faraway heaven or hell. It is here, in the choices we make every day. Every time you choose kindness over cruelty, honesty over lies, forgiveness over revenge, you are pushing the devils back. Maybe you cannot empty the whole world of evil, but you can at least keep your part of the world free from it. Think of the great evils that were overcome in history. Slavery was abolished not by angels but by humans. Empires of cruelty collapsed because humans resisted them. Even in times of war, people risked their lives to save strangers. These moments prove that while the devils are here, so are the lights that burn against them. Perhaps hell is empty because earth is both hell and heaven at once, depending on how we live. The devils are here, but so are the possibilities of angels within us. When Shakespeare gave us that line, he left it open for interpretation. Some may take it literally, some may take it as metaphor, some may use it as a warning, and some may see it as a challenge. But whatever the meaning, the effect is the same. It makes us look at the world and question what kind of place we are creating. If all the devils are here, then maybe it is our responsibility to make sure they do not win. Maybe the reason hell is empty is because this world is the battlefield where good and evil meet, and each soul must choose its side. This reflection forces us to look into the mirror of our own lives. We like to think of ourselves as good, but have we ever acted in ways that made someone else's life a little more like hell? Maybe through harsh words, through selfishness, through betrayal? If yes, then we must admit that the devils are not just out there, they are also us. And if we admit this, we can begin to change. Because to recognize the devil inside you is the first step toward keeping him under control. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. These words echo across centuries because they never stop being true. In every age, in every society, we see devils rising through greed, through war, through lies, through cruelty. And in every age, humans are forced to confront them, sometimes winning, sometimes losing. The battle continues, and the line remains relevant. Perhaps this is the greatest genius of Shakespeare, that he could take a line spoken in a play about magic and storms and make it into a philosophy about humanity. He showed us that hell and devils are not distant myths, but present realities. And he reminded us that to live wisely is to recognize where evil hides and to resist it, not with swords alone, but with conscience, courage, and compassion. So the next time you look at the world and see injustice, remember this line. When you see greed consuming nations, when you see violence justified in the name of power, when you see cruelty treated as normal, think of these words. Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. And then ask yourself, if the devils are here, where will you stand? Will you join them, or will you fight them? Not in some grand battle, but in the quiet choices of your everyday life. Because in the end, Shakespeare's line is not just a warning, it is a question. It asks, if hell is empty because the devils are here, then what will you do with your humanity? Will you let the devils rule, or will you prove that even in a world full of darkness, the light of one soul can still shine?